Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 random questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and tonight's guest is professional boxer Reshard Hicks.
How you
How's
doing?
it going?
Going great. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I appreciate you taking time to come on the podcast.
Of course,
So
of course.
I'm sure the fans want to know, do you got anything lined up right now? Are we going to see you in the ring this summer? Is anything in the works?
Well, right now we're looking at towards the August time frame. Right after the summertime, we're working right now. Staying in shape, keeping the body going, and making sure that when the phone rings, we're ready.
Okay. So you actually are, you're not actually in a camp or anything, but you're just staying in shape and ready.
Staying in shape, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So you ready for these random 20 questions?
Let's go.
All right. So question one, I don't want to talk about the boxing yet. I just want fans to learn a little bit. Tell me about your background and your upbringing, parents, siblings, where you were brought up, things like that.
Well, I'm originally from Tampa. Well, I'm originally from Quincy, Florida. I am a military brat, but I was raised in Tampa after leaving Quincy, Florida. I was prior service military. Before the army, I was a college football player. Played 1 year in Saskatchewan. Did little football tours and stuff. Finished with that. Went did some other things. Then joined the military. Before I picked up a pair of boxing gloves.
Okay. Now, do you have any siblings or
I do. I do. I have. I'm the middle child of four. I know you're wondering how you say you're middle child of four, but I have two brothers that are twins. So two twin brothers, and I got one older brother. Older brother, 42, just turned 42, if I'm not mistaken. Just turned 42. Um, the younger brothers are 26. 36, and me, the middle, 39.
So now you say you're a military brat. So did you have to travel around a lot with your parents? Did you ever visit any other countries, live in any other countries?
Never lived in it. Well, I was in another country. I did do a tour in Iraq. But as far as living in another country, no, my father was just using the Navy, so he moved up and down the East Coast. So he was always going from with Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia, back to Florida. So yeah.
Okay, now you just mentioned you were in Iraq. So how long were you in the service?
I did 7 years. 7 years in the service. Did two tours, and that's that.
Well, hey, thank you for serving our country.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
All right, so question two then. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Strange story. I got really ill while being deployed. I had doctors that actually knew about me playing football before I joined the military and knew I was active. And the way for me to get back to health was, she said, I was deployed, came back to deal with the sickness. Told me there was a smoker on Fort Hood. I did the smoker. I won that smoker, and this smoker was a big tournament. We had
Now
other
you say smoker. Explain what that is.
so it was more like tournament style, but it wasn't USA boxing regulated, so to say. So that's why I call it smoker, because there's a difference between USA regulated competition versus just tournament put together. But you had the all army reps that were there at the time, and then again we had other posts come from other states, came to this smoker and tried it out. Ended up coming good. I won the smoker, and here we are.
So you didn't have any boxing experience before that smoker in the service?
No, sir. I was 25 years old when I first put a pair of gloves on.
Little street fight experience though, maybe?
I was, I
None.
was, I got bullied a lot, so I wasn't really a fighter. I wasn't really a fighter.
So how do you walk into a tournament, a smoker that you called it, in the service with no fighting experience and win?
I was an athlete. I was an athlete. Then athleticism took over. Being quick, being fast, being able to punch. I mean, I dabbled in boxing as far as I was a enthusiast before I even knew I was a boxer. I mean, I would watch Pernell Whitaker, Hector Camacho, and all of them guys box. So I knew what the sport was. Winky Wright. I knew about the sport before I was actually a fighter.
So now, once you got out of the service, is that when you went and found a gym? Or
I actually did it while I was in service. But after, it's crazy because right after the smoker, I did one fight that was an actual showcase show for the USA Boxing. I lost that fight, and then I went and won the regional Golden Gloves, um, and then went back after the regional Golden Gloves. I won that. Went back and fought the guy that beat me the first fight and stopped him because I was upset I lost that fight. Um, and then went on a spree. Then ended up winning the LBC local boxing tournament. And then I won state. And then I turned pro only because simply the army was not you know accepting of the boxing without being on the USA boxing team. So I came down on orders, would have to go to training and stuff like that. So it kept stalling. So then once I took the chance that I had to get out, got out, turned pro, and again, here I am.
Okay. All right. Question 3. So tell me your boxing Mount Rushmore, your top favorite 4 guys in boxing.
All right, my top favorite. I gotta say Pernell Whitaker is the best to me. Pernell Whitaker. Then of course I gotta go Mayweather because he's in my time. Then it's gonna shock a lot of people when I say this. A lot of people, but Winky Wright would be my third. Winky Wright would be my third. I was just a huge fan of his defense and how he never avoid anybody, and the fact that he can beat you with a 1-2. So Winky Wright. Then I gotta go. For me, it would be Miguel Cotto. Even I know Miguel Cotto again. A lot of people may be like Miguel Cotto, but yes, Miguel Cotto would definitely be that for me. Because again, I got to watch him. And then my fifth would be Hector Camacho. Again, because I love the way he boxed and I love the way he's a showman. Again, I know a lot of people is gonna be like, what? But again, me being a southpaw, you can understand why those are some of my favorite fighters. So
okay. All right. Question 4. If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why?
Yeah, any superhero, I want to be the Invisible Man. Even though it's weird to say that because sometimes I know I like to be out in front of people, but believe it or not, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert because sometimes I just have a lot to say, but most of the time I'm rather be at home sitting in the house. So if I can walk around the world without being seen, I like that.
Okay. All right. Question 5. Were you good at any other sports besides boxing?
Absolutely. I was a standout in football. I was an All-American in track. I played baseball. Was pretty good at baseball, and then I was also in high school because I'm short, of course. I was a second team all tournament team on basketball, second team all district in basketball. So yeah, I did a lot of things, but football and track was my thing.
And what position did you play in football?
I was a DB, cornerback.
Okay. All right. Question 6. Do you have a favorite boxing movie?
Of course, the normal one I would say is Rocky. I've watched him plenty of times. I watched him over and over and over again, and I like it because it's more about inspiration than anything else.
Okay. All right. Question 7. Do you have a pre-fight meal that you always have to eat before every fight?
Yes. Chicken parmesan with angel hair noodles.
That was pretty quick.
Yes. It's like clockwork.
All right. Question 8. What is something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
I'm an artist. I like to sing. I like to play piano.
Okay. Now you said you like to sing. What do you sing?
Hey, anything gospel. I'm a music fan, so I like any kind of music. I would sing it and do it. So
Okay. So now when you say sing, can you sing like R&B and then can you rap too, or is it just
now I'll
singing?
do rap. I don't do no rap. I just sing. I just do singing. I don't do no
Just
rap.
singing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now do you do it like where you've actually like put out a CD, or you just like to mess around and sing, or do you do
Yeah,
karaoke?
I've actually done. I'm gonna say 2 shows. Done 2 shows. I've actually sung on some couple of tracks before, but most of the time I do it for fun. I post videos and clips and stuff. But I was raised in the Baptist family, and everyone from my dad's side and mother's side, both all the singers. So it just kind of run into the family.
Okay. All right, question 9. If you could go on a date with any celebrity, who would it be?
Hmm. That was tough. That was tough. I would say ah, it's gonna sound weird. Clarissa Shields, because she's so intense, right? She's so intense, and it's about it's for me. It's about the vibe. You know what I mean? Her vibe is just like exuberant, and she got a confidence about her that I like. You know, that she can whoop anybody, and I like that confidence. So
And if you got to go on a date with her, she might give you a sparring session.
I would not be opposed to that. I just won't let nobody film it.
Okay. All right. Question 10. Would you rather spend the evening smoking weed with Mike Tyson or drinking wine with Kevin Hart?
That's a good one. That's a good one because actually, like I said, I do a lot of things. Stand up comedy is definitely one of them. I've done a lot of comedy shows. So it's weird because it had Tyson's actually funny, but I would definitely, because I do comedy, want to pick Kevin Hart's brain. So I would definitely pick Kevin Hart.
Okay, so now you just brought up that you do comedy. So you
Absolutely.
actually have you done shows?
I mean, I've done a lot of shows. I've opened up for a lot of people. Yeah.
So on the side, you're a boxer and you're a comedian.
Yes, sir.
So if somebody doesn't laugh at your jokes, you just knock them out.
You know, it's funny. When I get on stage and the guy who introduces me always says that. It's like everyone, it's like they know that I'm also a fighter. It was like, hey man, so you better laugh at his jokes or he's gonna knock you out.
Well, that's pretty cool, though. At least you got something to fall back on when your boxing career is over. You can just keep doing stand up.
Right, right.
Now, do you have any shows booked right now where people can
No,
actually see you?
no. I slowed down because I'm a school teacher now, and I'm trying to learn how a little bit more of those ropes. And it's a lot of material that I get from being a teacher. It's just about learning how to present that, and then my time, because right now I just got a job being a high school football coach, for a DB. So learning how to navigate that with the time is kind of what I'm learning to do
So
now.
now you're a school teacher too? What do you teach?
Well, at my school, I'm called self-contained. That means we teach every subject, all the core subjects from math, science, reading, language arts. We do all of it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, question 11. If you could have a conversation with one person from history, who would it be?
One person from history. Caesar. Julius Caesar. He made the monarchy Veni Vidi Vici. He was like the world's the way he organized the army, the soldiers, and the way he ruled is something to be questioned. And I want to know his mind frame and how he made maneuvers, because he did a lot of things for history. He was recognizing history, and it's like playing chess. And like being in the boxing ring is like playing chess. So I would like to see how what strategy he used when he mobilized his soldiers.
Okay. All right, question 12. What's the best dish you can cook?
Man, I can cook. I can cook. But I say that my best dish is enchiladas.
Okay. All right, question 13. Tell me an interesting story out of your boxing career. Anything.
Um, Interesting story. Um, One of my fights it was in Colorado Springs. And I went to I can't remember the guy's name, but it's up there in the mountains. Terrence Crawford used to go there all the time to spar, get ready for his fights. Um, I was in camp working out, and Terrence Crawford was there, getting ready for his fight. Needless to say, I got in there. Bomac saw me. Bomac pulled me outside and talked to me about possibly put me on the team, but I was already with New Gen Promotions at the time, and so that kind of faded away. But just to have a conversation with Brian McIntyre, and then be in the same ring with Terrence Crawford was amazing.
Oh, so you actually sparred Terrence Crawford.
I got one round in with him.
Hey, that's more than a lot of guys can say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question 14. Who has been your favorite opponent that you fought in your career?
Man, without a doubt, it would have to be Hado Castaneda. Without a doubt, um, because we are both from the same state. We're both widely recognized, um, and he pushed me. He pushed me to my absolute limit. But it was competitive, but it's also um, it was fun. Let me say that it was a fun fight. It was definitely a fun fight. Now my last fight against Ivan Vasquez was also a challenging fight because he was big, he was huge. And but I would say Hydro Castanet was my favorite fight.
Okay. Question 15. If you could bring back someone that is deceased for 1 week, who would you bring back to life?
Pernell, Pernell Whitaker, absolutely. Because I would love to just to have him coach me, just say, give it a look at a glimpse of things that I'm doing because I still look at Pernell Whitaker videos. I would say I'm boxing because of Pernell Whitaker.
Okay. All right. Question 16. If you found yourself on death row, what would be your last meal?
Lobster and steak.
Okay.
Lobster and steak.
All right. Question 17. Who is the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
James Kirkland. In sparring. James Kirkland. With not even close. No one is even close. James hit me with a jab, and I thought my whole jaw broke. It was, and I did 3 rounds with James. I was supposed to do 6, but like the gym, like if you watch a lot about James in the past, you know that a lot of sparring partners with him don't last. And I got in the ring with James down on his down phase of his career. I couldn't imagine what it would like to fight him in his prime because it was. He had me by a good 20 pounds, so I mean, I gotta throw that out there. I mean, but he didn't just run through me. But after we got out the ring, he told me, "He's like, man, dude, you're actually really good." I thought I was crap, but he told me, he gave me a lot of props. So,
Okay. All right. Question 18. What's your best boxing memory to this point in your career?
best boxing memory. I would say I was, this is something that Danny Swift Garcia talked about. Um, and a lot of fighters we deal with this, and people don't understand it. But we deal with a lot of mental stuff. We deal with a lot of anxiety. We deal with a lot of stuff that people don't see. My best box memory would have to be my second title. I remember because I had just got a fight with Jonathan Steele, and I got to draw that fight, and I was going through a lot of stuff during that fight and after that fight. That's when you found out a lot of people that you thought was your friends that wasn't really your friends, and people that was on your side. Mind you, I didn't even lose. I got a draw in that fight, but it was like a time in my life where I felt like I could have done better, but I didn't. And I'll say this: I earned the draw that fight. So my next fight, um, I went back to the drawing board. I trained my butt off, made weight very comfortably, and I won that belt. I want to say a third round body shot knockout, but it was just more of it was the emotions behind the triumph of coming back from what I came from because I was very mentally unstable, suicidal, all that stuff, and that fight kind of I needed it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I needed that just for my sanity. So.
All right. Question 19. If you could hold any record in the Guinness Book of World Records, what record would you want to hold?
The most punches thrown in a round. I know it's not a boxing question, but I got to equate it to boxing because I know how hard it is to let your punches go, especially with me. I'm a place puncher, so yeah, it'd be the most punches per round.
Okay. All right. Question 20. If you had to spend 30 days in a jail cell, what comedian would you choose to be your cellmate?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, because I think he can make it. He can make it every every second of that work being in there. It
All
made me
right.
forget where I'm at. So
Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time to come on and do the random 20 questions. Hopefully you had a good time. If you got anything to shout out, sponsors, dates coming up, or just say something to your fans, go ahead.
I just want to send a shout out to Derek Collinsworth and the Wolfpack. He's my manager, trainer, and shout out to Clocks Boxing and Fitness, my partner down there in Killeen, Texas. Shout out to everyone in Killeen who always been there from day one and loved to support it and done everything but get me big props and big me up every time they had a chance to. And then my family and my friends, love y'all because without y'all, I don't think I should be doing this. So.
Anything to the fans?
Oh, fans! I love, hey, and I got fans from all over the world, which I didn't know, which is kind of crazy to me. My fans, stay patient. I promise you, I'm not done yet. You will see King Too Quick Hicks, back in the ring again. Hopefully, with another belt.
All right, hold on. And with that, the truth has spoken.